Part two of our interview with Trevecca Athletic Director Mark Elliott. Mark, Austin Selby came in late in the process, and there has been nothing but marvelous works from his cross-country and track teams the last 6 or 7 months. What has that been like as an AD to sit back and just see those two programs really take off this year?
Well, really proud of the athletes' efforts and particularly Austin's leadership. We were put in a kind of a tough spot in a really late selection, and we did a very non-traditional search for a cross-country coach, and we couldn't have we struck gold. Basically is what happened, and he's done such a fantastic job with such short notice. The athletes, when you get a new coach, that's a tough thing, and all of a sudden these athletes bought in. He won them over, and now all of a sudden they are improving. And again, like we said earlier, that flywheel starts spinning of trust and better efforts and better training, and then it just begets more. And so he's done a really good job of getting that moving in the right direction. Cross country was good. And we had an awful lot of dominated by freshmen, so the future looks good as well. They did a great job during cross country and then elevated all the way up to challenging for the conference championship. Right, that's unheard of. Then we get into track, and this is our first foray into track, both indoor and outdoor. And now all of a sudden, last weekend at the Sanford tournament, at the Sanford meet, every athlete is a PR, a personal record. Every record from previous gets broken, and so the improvement is astonishing, and I couldn't be happier.
You've seen an addition. We've got 15 sports here, and we're seeing student athletes. Greg was just saying we might have a pole vaulter here. 15 sports right now. Do you see is the status quo what we want it right here in the short term, or expound upon, if you can, the sports we have at the moment?
Sure. Let me start by saying all we have to have to be Division II is 10. We had 9 prior to applying. We added cross country, which got us to 11. The indoor and outdoor track, both for male and female, actually counts as 4 separate sports: indoor men's, indoor women's, outdoor men's, outdoor women's. And we look at it as one sport, track, but it's actually 4 the way the NCAA looks at it. So we're fine right where we are. And yet we know from a school's perspective, adding students to our enrollment helps the entire school. And we can do that through athletics maybe a little bit more quickly than we can through a science program, for example. So we don't have to. We need to have quality in the programs that we currently have, and so there's some upgrades and some continued movement that we need to, and growth we need to have in our current programs. But I think everybody likes to know, okay, what's the next thing on the horizon? And I would suspect that the next thing on the horizon would be possibly bringing tennis back, particularly on the female side. Have to have 6 tennis courts. We only have 2. There's land that needs to be purchased and tennis courts that needs to be built, but that's a possibility. That's probably where we are right now. I don't foresee us in the near future moving in that direction, but plans on the drawing board, future looking vision, we have to have that. We need to know what the next thing is, and that's probably the next thing.
We're in the spring now. We've got about 3.5 months. Baseball is getting underway, hopefully this weekend, Lord willing. Softball is off to a good start. How excited are you? And then golf is going to get kicked off right next month, and they'll probably be the favorites. How excited are you for this spring? And hopefully our baseball, softball, and golf teams can kind of lift us late in the process.
That's right. We won the President's Cup last year, and the way we did it was we finished out the season with 4 back-to-back championships. We had women's soccer last year. This year we didn't get that, and yet there's more teams in the conference, so the championships are getting split up. The way I look at this is that I think we could potentially win women's basketball. No pressure on these coaches now, but baseball, softball, men's and women's golf conceivably win the same number of championships that we did last year if we continue moving the way we are. I'm after the President's Cup again, so I really want us to do that. And I think we could and should be favored in order to do that. Again, I don't want to put pressure on our coaches and athletes to the extent that they can't perform. But you know what? A little bit of pressure is good. So, yeah, let's win the President's Cup again. We want that title. We want to have that position within the conference. And, yes, every coach has on their evaluation as, where they finished in the conference. Are they in the top half? That's our goal. And so we want NCAA postseason play, and that's you have to win our conference to go forward. We don't have that opportunity this year. And yet we want to get in the rhythm of winning our conference so that when automatic qualification comes, we'll have that opportunity with the NCAA tournament.
Mark, I want to thank you for your time. Valuable information and knowledge for the Trojan fan base, and I will catch up with you later in the year.
Thanks. Good questions. Thank you very much.
That was Trevecca Athletic Director Mark Elliott. The men's game against Central State coming up in the near future. Stay with us, folks. We'll be back right after this.